Hello and welcome to another scintillating episode of Furries in the Media. I'm your host Abergwine, and today, pack your dipping dots and frost those tips, because today we're going back to 1993 to look at Sci-Fi's report of the furry fandom.
Now you're talking about ascribing personal traits to like a Bugs Bunny or Roger Rabbit or something like that.
Well, it starts there.
The furry fandom grew out of the funny animal fandom. That's what they called characters like Looney Tunes back then. And members of the furry fandom still appreciate animation to this day.
Fun, fur, and hundreds of fans were out in force at this year's 4th annual Conference in Costa Mesa, California. Since its inception, the convention has evolved into a high-energy celebration of anthropomorphic art, animation, and attitude.
They got actual footage from Conference. Granted, it probably wasn't that difficult for them because most news stations weren't abusing their power at this time.
With the anthropomorphics, it's easy to get outside matters of race or sex or whatever because they're not, on the one hand, they're not people, but on the other hand, you can do anything with them that you could do with people.
I feel like this is why anthropomorphic characters are so universal, and I'm glad they included this in their report. It offers an answer to why furries exist, and I haven't really seen many other news reports even bother to go into such detail.
Among the artists on hand at Conference to display their work was illustrator Steve Galacci. He's found a wider audience for his socially conscious stories by using anthropomorphics in his underground comic book, Albedo.
Having these cute little characters doing very serious, straight science fiction stories, serious action, in-depth social and political issues being explored and all that. But they're cute, funny animals, and well handled. You can approach an audience that you might want to hit that would otherwise reject your message out of hand.
This guy's work is considered to be part of the founding origins of the furry fandom. I haven't actually read any of his comics, but I feel that these works were significant for the fandom through his use of funny animals to explore topics that are more serious than one would typically expect for funny animal characters. And I'm glad that they included this interview with them. It shows they really did their homework. And I wish that more news reports would have interviews with prominent members of the fandom.
Anthropomorphics also offer a refreshing option for artists like Christina Hansen, who are intent on expanding their creative horizons.
I've been working a lot with the human figure for so long. I've been kind of going out my way to find challenges, and that's a lot of what the anthropomorphics do for me, is they give me a challenge and something different and something new to work with.
The beauty of it is that there is really no wrong way to design an anthro character, and artistic trends tend to come and go in the furry community. I feel that this is one of the reasons that the furry community has been around for so long. We're almost constantly reinventing ourselves and introducing new content. Let's take a look at those review stats. Accuracy is 100%, and the spirit is also 100%, averaging out to yet another 100%. Congratulations, Sci-Fi! And now time for my thoughts. It's hard for me to know what the furry fandom was like back in the early 90s, probably because I was only about 3 years old at the time, but watching this report was actually quite refreshing. It seems like so many recent news reports focus on the highly visible parts of the furry fandom, like fursuits or the adult content. This report emphasized the components that make the fandom tick, like the appreciation of art, the fact that anthropomorphic characters pose new challenges for artists, and that using animals in the place of human characters can make a story more palatable to a much wider audience. I get that most news stations don't have all the time in the world to do research on what should be a mundane, briefly covered human interest story, but I feel that if more news reports chose to highlight the cultural aspects of the fandom, it would do wonders for our community's image. Well, that's it for today's episode. Have fun, stay awesome, bye-bye!